The world you perceive around you is not separate from you, but a reflection of your inner state. Your consciousness is the only reality, and what you hold in your mind and heart manifests in your experience. This is the fundamental principle that underpins all creation, including what we commonly refer as luck. Now you might be thinking, but Neville, I've seen people who seem naturally keen, who effortlessly effort at good fortune. How can this be if luck is a state of consciousness? To this I say, look closer. Those who appear naturally lucky are often those who consciously or unconsciously have aligned their inner state with the very essence of good fortune. They expect good things to happen to them. They approach life with a sense of optimism and possibility. They see opportunities where others see obstacles. In short, they have cultivated a lucky state of consciousness, and the outer world has no choice but to conform to this inner reality. So how does one cultivate this state of consciousness? How does one become the luckiest person in the world? The answer, my friends, lies in the power of your imagination and your ability to assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Imagine, if you will, what it would feel like to be the luckiest person in the world. Close your eyes for a moment and really feel it. How would you carry yourself? What thoughts would occupy your mind? How would you react to the events of your day? You see, when you assume the feeling of being lucky, when you live from that state, you begin to notice opportunities that were always there but previously invisible to you. You become more open to synchronicities and coincidences that seem to work in your favor. You start to make decisions from a place of confidence and expectation of positive outcomes. This is not mere positive thinking or wishful daydreaming. This is the deliberate use of your imagination to reshape your consciousness and consequently your reality. Remember, your imagination or the fantasy spinning machine is the very workshop wherein your world is created. Now let us delve deeper into the practical application of this principle. To be the luckiest person in the world, you must first redefine what luck means to you. Is it financial abundance, harmonious relationships, perfect health, exciting opportunities? Whatever it may be, you must create a clear mental image of what being lucky looks like in your life. Once you have this image, your task is to make it so vivid, so real in your imagination, that when you open your eyes, you are surprised to find that it hasn't yet materialized in your physical reality. This is the art of living from the end, experiencing in your imagination the fulfillment of your desire with such intensity that it becomes your dominant mental state. Let me give you an example. Suppose you desire financial abundance as a manifestation of your luck. Instead of anxiously worrying about bills or constantly affirming that money will come to you, you must assume the state of already being financially abundant. In your imagination, feel the relief and joy of having more than enough money. Experience the freedom of being able to buy what you want when you want it. Feel the satisfaction of being generous with your wealth. Make this imaginal act so real that you can almost feel the crisp bills in your hand or see the impressive figures in your bank account. As you practice this, you'll notice a shift in your consciousness. You'll begin to feel more relaxed about money. You'll start to notice financial opportunities that you might have overlooked before. You'll make decisions from a place of abundance rather than scarcity. And gradually your outer world will reshape itself to match this new inner reality. But remember, my dear friends, this practice is not about forcing or straining. It's about allowing yourself to feel the naturalness of your desired state. The luckiest person in the world doesn't constantly think about being lucky, they simply are. They live from that state effortlessly, naturally, as if it were the most normal thing in the world. Now, some of you might be thinking, but Neville, what about hard work and effort? Surely luck isn't everything. And to this I say, inspired action is indeed a crucial part of manifestation. But this action comes from a different place than mere toil and struggle. When you truly embody the stage of being the luckiest person in the world, you'll find yourself naturally inspired to take actions that align with this state. These actions won't feel like hard work. They'll feel joyful, exciting, almost effortless. You'll be in the flow, so to speak, riding the wave of your good fortune. This is the difference between working hard to become lucky and taking inspired action because you are lucky. The former is an uphill battle. The latter is a joyous unfolding. Choose the latter, my friends, and watch as the universe conspires to support your every move. Now let us address a common misconception about luck. Many believe that to be lucky means to have everything go your way all the time. But this is not the case. The truly lucky person is not one who never faces challenges, but one who sees every experience, whether perceived as positive or negative, as an opportunity for growth and advancement. In fact, what others might call bad luck often turns out to be a blessing in disguise for the person who knows themselves to be inherently lucky. They trust in the perfect unfolding of their life, knowing that every experience is bringing them closer to the full realization of their desires. This trust, this unshakable faith in your own good fortune, is a crucial aspect of being the luckiest person in the world. It allows you to remain calm and centered, even in the face of apparent setbacks. It gives you the confidence to take risks and seize opportunities that others might shy away from. But how does one cultivate this trust? Through persistent assumption of your desired state. By continuously living from the end, experiencing in your imagination the reality of being the luckiest person in the flight club, you build an unshakable conviction in your good fortune. This conviction becomes your dominant state, coloring all your perceptions and experiences. You begin to luck everywhere, not because external circumstances have changed, but because you have changed. Your consciousness has shifted, and the outer world has no choice but to reflect this shift. Now, my friends, I want to address something that often comes up when we discuss the idea of creating our own luck. Some ask, if we create our own reality, does that mean those who experience misfortune are to blame for their circumstances? This is a nuanced question that requires a compassionate understanding. While it's true that our dominant states of consciousness shape our experiences, we are not always consciously aware of all our beliefs and assumptions, especially deeply ingrained in our subconscious mind. Moreover, we are part of a collective consciousness, and sometimes we experience events that reflect with beliefs rather than individual ones. The key is not to judge or blame, but to recognize that no matter what circumstances we find ourselves in, we always have the power to choose our response. This choice, the choice of how to perceive and respond to our experiences, is where our true power lies. The luckiest person in the world is not one who never faces challenges, but one who sees every challenge as an opportunity for growth. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. So if you find yourself in circumstances that seem unlucky, do not despair. Instead, ask yourself, how can I use this experience to cultivate the state of being lucky? What opportunity for growth and transformation is hidden within this challenge? By reframing your experiences in this way, you begin to shift your consciousness. You move from a state of victimhood to a state of empowerment. And as your consciousness shifts, so too will your experiences. Now let us delve deeper into the practical aspects of embodying the state of being the luckiest person in the world. One powerful practice is to start your day by assuming this state. As soon as you wake up, before you engage with the outside world, take a few moments to feel the reality of being incredibly lucky. Feel the excitement of knowing that wonderful opportunities await you. Feel the confidence of knowing that everything will work out in your favor. Feel the joy of living a charmed life. Let this feeling permeate every cell of your being. As you go about your day, maintain this feeling. When you interact with others, do so from the state of being lucky. When you make decisions, make them from this state. When challenges arise, face them from this state. You'll be amazed at how this simple practice can transform your day. You'll start to notice synchronicities and fortuitous events. You'll find yourself in the right place at the right time. Opportunities will seem to fall into your lap. This is not coincidence. This is the outer world conforming to your inner state. Another powerful practice is to review your day through the lens of luck before you go to sleep. Reflect on all the ways in which you were lucky that day. Even seemingly small things, finding a parking spot easily, receiving a compliment, enjoying a delicious meal, can be seen as manifestations of your luck. By focusing on these experiences of luck, you reinforce the state of being lucky in your consciousness. You're essentially telling your subconscious mind, this is who I am. I am the luckiest person in the world. And your subconscious mind, being the faithful servant that it is, will work tirelessly to make this statement a reality. Now, some of you might be wondering, but Neville, what if I don't feel lucky? What if my current circumstances seem to contradict the idea that I'm the luckiest person in the world? This, my friends, is where the real work begins. This is where you must exercise your faith in your imagination. Remember, your imagination is more real than the world of physical senses. What you imagine and feel to be true is more powerful than what your physical senses report. So even if your current circumstances seem unlucky, you have the power to imagine and feel a different reality. This is not about denying your current experiences, but about choosing which experiences you give your attention and emotional energy to. By consistently focusing on and feeling the reality of being lucky, despite any seeming contradictions in your physical world, you begin to shift your state of consciousness. And as your consciousness shifts, your experiences must follow suit. Think of it like tuning a radio. Just as you tune into different frequencies to receive different stations, you can tune your consciousness to different states to experience different qualities. By persistently tuning into the frequency of luck and good fortune, you begin to receive experiences that match this frequency. Now let's address another important aspect of being the luckiest person in the world, gratitude. Gratitude is not just a pleasant emotion, it is a powerful creative force. When you're grateful, you're essentially saying to the universe, thank you for this, and please send more. The luckiest person in the world is deeply grateful for everything in their life. Not just the big obvious blessings, but also the small, everyday miracles that we often take for granted. They're grateful for the air they breathe, for the ground beneath their feet, for the ability to think and feel and experience life. This attitude of gratitude creates a positive feedback loop. The more grateful you are, the more you notice things to be grateful for. The more you notice these things, the luckier you feel. The luckier you feel, the more fortunate experiences you attract. It's a beautiful, self-perpetuating cycle of good fortune. So make gratitude a daily practice. Each morning when you wake up, and each night before you go to sleep, take a few moments to count your blessings. Feel the genuine emotion of thankfulness for all that is good in your life. And don't just be grateful for what you met for what's coming, for the desires that are sincerely. This practice of being grateful in advance is another way of living from the end. It reinforces your assumption of being the luckiest person in the world. It aligns your consciousness with the reality of your fulfilled invite. Now, my dear friends, as we continue our exploration of how to be the luckiest person in the world, I want to touch upon the concept of detachment. This might seem counterintuitive at first. After all, if you want to be lucky, shouldn't you be intensely focused on and attached to that desire? But here's a paradox. True manifestation comes from the place of detachment. When you're overly attached to a specific outcome, when you're anxiously wondering when and how your luck will manifest, you're actually pushing it away. You're operating from a state of lack, of not having, which contradicts the state of being lucky. The luckiest person in the world doesn't wonder when their luck will come. They know they are already lucky. They trust in the perfect unfolding of their life. They're detached from specific outcomes because they know that whatever comes their way is for their highest good. This detachment doesn't mean indifference. It means trusting so completely in your good fortune that you relax and enjoy the journey until everything is working out perfectly for you. It's the confident expectation of a child on Christmas Eve, excited for the gifts to come, but not anxious or doubtful. Cultivating this state of relaxed confidence is key to being the luckiest person in the world. It allows you to be open to possibilities that you might not have considered. It enables you to recognize opportunities that you might have overlooked if you were fixated on a particular outcome. So how does one cultivate this state of detached expectation? Through regular practice of your imaginal acts. By consistently assuming the feeling of being lucky, by living from that state in your imagination, you build an unshakable confidence in your good fortune. This confidence allows you to relax, to let go of the how and the when. You know that your luck is assured, so you can release the anxiety and the need to control. And ironically, it's in this state of relaxed allowing that your luck often manifests most powerfully. Now let's discuss another crucial aspect of being the luckiest person in the world, your self-concept. Your self-concept is the collection of beliefs you hold about yourself. It's your idea of who you are. And it's this self-concept that determines the experiences you allow into your life. If deep down you believe you're unlucky or undeserving of good fortune, you'll subconsciously block or sabotage lucky experiences. On the other hand, if you truly see yourself as lucky, as deserving of good things, you'll naturally attract and unfortunate experiences into your life. So a key part of becoming the luckiest person in the world is revising your self-concept. You must see yourself as inherently lucky, as someone for whom things always work out well. This isn't about arrogance or entitlement. It's about aligning your self-concept with the truth of your divine nature. Remember, you are a creative being, made in the image of the divine creator. You are inherently worthy of all good things. Luck is your birthright. When you truly internalize this understanding, when you make it a part of your self-concept, you naturally become a magnet for good fortune. One powerful way to revise your self-concept is through the use of I am statements. These are not mere affirmations to be repeated mindlessly. They are declarations of your true nature to be felt and embodied. Try this, close your eyes and say to yourself, I am the luckiest person in the world. Say it not as something you hope to be true, but as a statement of fact. Feel the truth of it in every cell of your body. Let it resonate in your very being. As you practice this, you may notice resistance coming up. Old beliefs of unworthiness or bad luck might surface. Don't fight these thoughts. Simply observe them, thank them for their past service, and gently return to your I am statement. Remember, what you resist persists, but what you embrace and integrate loses its power over you. Now, my friends, I want to address a question that often arises when we discuss creating our own luck. Some ask, if I focus on being lucky, am I being selfish? Shouldn't I be more concerned with helping others? To this, I say, becoming the luckiest person in the world is the most selfless thing you can do. When you embody this state of good fortune, when you live from this consciousness, you naturally uplift everyone around you. Think about it when you're feeling lucky. When everything is going well for you, aren't you more generous, more kind, more patient with others? Don't you have more to give, both materially and energetically? Your good fortune overflows and touches the lives of everyone you encounter. Moreover, by demonstrating that it's possible to create your own luck, you inspire others to do the same. You become a living example of the potential that exists within each of us to shape our reality. In this way, your personal transformation becomes a catalyst for collective evolution. So never feel guilty about focusing on your own good fortune. Know that as you elevate yourself, you elevate the world. As you become luckier, you create a field of lucky possibilities for others to step into. Now let's explore another important aspect of being the luckiest person in the world, the concept of divine timing. Often when people try to manifest luck or good fortune, they become impatient. They want everything to happen immediately. And when it doesn't, they lose faith. But the truly lucky person understands and trusts in divine timing. They know that everything happens at the perfect moment, even if that moment isn't always clear to their human understanding. This trust in divine timing comes from a deep knowing that the universe is always working in your favor. It's the understanding that sometimes what seems a delay or a detour is actually the universe setting up the perfect conditions for your desire to manifest in the best possible way. When you trust in divine timing, you release the anxiety and frustration that comes from trying to force things to happen on your timeline. So you allow yourself to relax into the perfect unfolding of your good fortune. And ironically, it's often when you release this need for immediate results that things start manifesting more quickly and easily. So how does one cultivate this trust in divine timing? Through persistence in your assumption. By consistently living from the state of being the luckiest person in the world. Regardless of appearances, you build an unshakable faith in the perfect unfolding of your life. This persistence doesn't mean constantly thinking about being lucky or obsessing over when your luck will manifest. It means maintaining the feeling of being lucky, the state of consciousness of someone whose life is charmed, even as you go about your daily activities. It's like planting a seed. Once you plant the seed, you don't dig it up every day to check if it's growing. You trust in the natural process of growth. You continue to water it and provide the right conditions, knowing that in due time it will sprout and flourish. Similarly, once you plant the seed of being the luckiest person in the world in your consciousness, you must have faith in the process. Continue to nurture it with your attention and emotion, but release the anxiety about when or how it will fully manifest. Now, my dear friends, as we near the end of our discussion, I want to emphasize the things of taking inspired action. While the inner work of imagination and assumption is crucial, it must be paired with outer action for full manifestation of your luck. However, this action comes from a different place than conventional goal setting or striving. It comes from a place of alignment with your assumed state of being the luckiest person in the world. When you truly live from this state, you'll find yourself naturally inspired to take actions that align with your good fortune. These inspired actions often feel effortless and joyful. They may not always make logical sense to your rational being, but they will feel right way on a deeper level. Trust these inspirations. Act on them promptly and decisively. Remember, you're not taking action to make yourself lucky. You're taking action because, as the luckiest person in the world, this is simply what you would naturally do. This subtle shift in perspective makes up the difference. As we conclude, I want to remind you of the immense power you hold within you. You are not at the mercy of chance or circumstance. You are the creator of your reality, the author of your fortune. Your focus, your imagination, your assumptions shape the world you experience. Choose wisely what you give your attention to. Cultivate thoughts and feelings that align with being the luckiest person in the world. Live from that state, assuming the feeling of your wish to practice gratitude, revive your self-concept, trust in divine timing, and take inspired action. And above all, persist in your assumption. Persist in your faith. Persist in your faith you are indeed the luckiest person in the world. For remember, your consciousness is the only reality, and you are that consciousness. You are the operant power in your life. You are the source of your own good fortune. Embrace this truth, live from this understanding, and watch as your life transforms in wonderful and unexpected ways. Go forth now, not as seekers of luck, but as embodiments of it. Not as hopeful dreamers, but as conscious creators of your own life. For you are the power, you are the luck. You are the divine expression of fortune itself. Thank you for your attention, my friends. May your journey of becoming the luckiest person in the world be filled with joy, wonder, and the continual unfolding of your infinite potential.